Before I begin rambling on about what is essentially just something that only affects the atmosphere, immersion and other visual things, until it doesn't, I must mention that while I had planned to make this video, another very similar video released talking about what is essentially the same problem, although just about Call of Duty. I do highly recommend that you check it out, and also check out another video which is also very similar. It talks about the COD zombies. Now with all that, let's begin the video. For all the years that video games have existed, there have always been some form of popular trends, from the days of the platformer being the dominant to the trend of making yet another extraction or battle royale game. But another trend that I feel have been happening for quite some time now is a trend where seriousness, trying to be grounded or realistic, but most importantly, authenticity, i.e. trying to be all these things, is thrown out of the window for some hard-earned cash. And it all began in the year 2018. And to show you how, let us take a look at the first case. I know that Call of Duty is not and never was realistic or even grounded, but what it was authentic. It was never realistic, but it tried to be as realistic as possible while still being very unrealistic. The best way to showcase this is in the multiplayer.
Rangers lead the way.
Unique factions, no neon anime weapon skins, and just plain old normal regular soldiers fighting each other on a battlefield. And not fucking Nicki Minaj all pink wearing in a goddamn war zone. To me, 2018 was the beginning of what we call the modern Call of Duty. It's all the release of Black Ops 4, which introduced battle passes and battle royale, and thirdly, and most importantly, it had a heavy focus on operators, i.e. another way to monetize cosmetics. This all carried over all the way from 2018 to the current year of 2024. There is so much more that could be said about this franchise, but as I said before, there's another video that covers this very good, and overall it's really easy to clown on Call of Duty. So let's switch it up by looking at another franchise that saw a similar fate the same year. Now, whilst I'm making this video, it is not nearly as bad as Call of Duty, but between 2018 and early to late 2022, it was looking a lot more like it is currently with Call of Duty, with the release of Battlefield 5, which had several problems, but overall today is regarded as a solid game. But during the game, they added some cosmetics that, to put it mildly,
but I'm the hero of this movie,
were cringe. And when Battlefield 2042 released, it was also very highly controversial for even more reasons. One of those controversial things were the operators, that once again like COD could be monetized, and whom all had very cringe one-liners.
That was something, right? Yeah, Angel does it again. Don't be sad. This is just how it works out sometimes.
But now, as we make on the video, they have, for one, removed the cringe one-liners and overall really improved the game. And for the third and final case, I would like to talk about a game that is much more personal to me and that I have and still sometimes play a lot of, and that is Rainbow Six Siege. Remember the reveal for the game back in 2014? You might remember the usual fake gamer actors that Ubisoft for some reason liked to use. You could remember how the actual game looked less good in graphical terms after release. But what I remember is not seeing Master Chief. I do understand because this game is almost 10 years old, they need to keep adding stuff like new operators and cosmetics. By this point, I just think it would be best to just make a sequel. Although it being Ubisoft, that sequel could be much worse than we already have. In the end, I want to make it absolutely 100% clear that this is just my own opinions, and it basically for the most part only affects the visual and aesthetics. But the visual aesthetics are important, not the graphics, but the immersion. I think the main problem is not actually seriousness, as the title might suggest. I think seriousness is lost because of one thing: consistency. Consistency in COD is absolutely lost. It markets itself as a serious game and then just ends up selling you Ronaldo, Nicki Minaj and Homelander, whilst also trying to sell you serious soldiers and, you know, tactical shit. And in Rainbow Six Siege, random realistic SCS operators work together with cybernetic laser people. But if you honestly don't care about it all and just enjoy it for gameplay, then that's totally fine, and more power to you. So to end it all, I'd say, I don't know, subscribe. Don't really have a good way to end this video, so goodbye.